What is up, guys? Welcome to my channel, AJ's Corner. This is just a quick video slash rant about the absolute state of the UFC and the absolute state of this so-called co-main event we've got coming up this weekend. I'm just pissed off about the whole situation. The UFC, this once great company, this once great brand that the Fertitta brothers built up from nothing, from absolutely nothing. That they built up from a loss company, a non-profit making company, as in they were making a loss every year, into one of the biggest brands known in the world of sport. It is what Johnson's are to talcum powder and cotton wool buds. It's what sellotape is to sticky tape. It's what blue tack is to, I guess, tacky things that are blue colored. You get my meaning. Even in the betting shops around here, excuse me, it'll say UFC/MMA because most people don't know what MMA is, but they know what UFC is. Anyway, the kind of company they built is just something that you could guarantee. You didn't even need to know who was on the card or who was fighting or anything. You just knew you wanted to see it. And it wasn't just about the star power. It's about the quality of fighter as well. I know the more you have, the more it'll be watered down, but at the same time, there's a lot more people doing martial arts now. Mixed martial arts has become way more popular over the past decade, 15 years, especially with people like McGregor. So it doesn't really add up. This coming event, I mean, we've got a 4-5 guy, a 4-5 UFC record against a 3-4 UFC record. Julian Marquez has been in the UFC for nearly a decade, and he's only won 3 fights. Just think about that. He's been in the UFC a decade and only won 3 fights. He's only had 7. He's 3-4, and he's been knocked out brutally in his last 3 fights. What is it? Round 1, he fought in 2022 once. He got knocked out in a round. He fought once in 2023, got knocked out in 2 rounds. And he fought once last year, and he was knocked out in 20 seconds. It was a brutal knockout. He got caught cold early, but man, I mean, how on earth does this guy, if he was 5-0, wouldn't deserve to be in the co-main event? I mean, who does he think he is? Floyd Mayweather fighting once a year? Maybe he's had injuries, maybe other things behind the scene. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really give a shit. Cody Brendan should be 4-6, not 4-5, because he was getting that ass whooped by Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He should have had a fight, run that one back, because he realized what he was up against, and he got the hell out of there and pretended he was injured. Did an Aljo basically against Jan. He pulled the Aljo and got his ass out of there. So he's 4-5-1 in UFC, but he's 4-6. We all know. I mean, this co-main event is pathetic. I mean, the first fight on the Topology card is Charles Energy Johnson versus, I can't really pronounce the guy's name, but 1 second, bear with me. Ramazan Tamarov, who is an absolute pocket rocket to watch. A flyweight with knockout power, I will watch over a heavyweight any day, especially these heavyweights, who are the worst heavyweight division in the history of UFC. We might have one of, if not the top 5, definitely a top 5 UFC heavyweight of all time. Definitely a top 10 UFC heavyweight of all time in the worst UFC heavyweight era ever. So it's going to be interesting to see how Tom Aspinall's career goes, because he's just got no one to fight. But anyway, this rant is just about the absolute state of UFC. Right, I'm back. Right, my camera keeps freezing. Between my camera freezing and the state of this shitty UFC event this weekend, I am pissed the fuck off. Right, let me get to this. I just went back, so I thought, let's have a look 10 years ago. Let's get some sort of idea of the kind of fight nights we were looking at. McGregor versus Dennis Siver. That's what we were looking at. McGregor versus Siver. And yeah, even Rogan was saying to him after his first couple of fights, you have packed an arena out. What is going on? They knew they were sitting on an absolute gold mine. They had an absolute emerald in Conor McGregor. They knew that. And I think, let me just check. The co-main event, I'm sure, was, I think it was Benson Henderson versus Cerrone. Yeah, Donald Cerrone versus Benson Henderson in your co-main event. Can you believe it? Let's have a look at some other fight nights. Machida versus Dollaway. This is a UFC on Fox, but this is a free-to-TV, free-to-air UFC card. Gustafsson versus Johnson. Gustafsson was the #1 guy. I think Johnson was either #2 or #3 at the time. This is when the light heavyweight division was actually popping and actually had some talent in it. And this was basically a #1 contender fight, which was as good as a title fight, because you knew it was going to be a hell of a fight. It ended early in that little Ericsson Dome in Sweden. I remember, I never felt so sorry for a fighter in my life. The way Alexander Gustafsson just got sparked in front of his own crowd. I don't think we quite realised how good Anthony Johnson was then, because he wasn't long from coming up from welterweight and middleweight, missing weight, and all those shenanigans. Rest in peace, Anthony Rumble Johnson, one of my favourite fighters, one of the hardest, maybe the hardest pound for pound hitter in MMA history. He will knock your teeth out. Ask Glover Teixeira. Let's have another look. Henderson versus Thatch. All right, whatever. Bigfoot versus Mia. These are fights, and it's like, it ain't as if you could say, oh, but these guys, they might be future. No, these guys are never going to be a Bigfoot or a Mia. They're never going to be those guys. These guys are just, they're nobodies. They're crap fighters. Let's just be straight. They're crap. They ain't ever going to go anywhere. They're going to wash out. They should already be cut from UFC. They're shit fighters. They're not fun to watch. They're not exciting. Marquez might be a little bit exciting, but Brenda isn't that exciting. They're both crap fighters. No one gives a shit about them. They got fuck all personality. They're boring as shit in every aspect. Let's have a little look. Mendes versus Lamas. Do you remember how exciting that fight was? I'm pretty sure Lamas got put stiff in that fight, if I remember rightly. Crocop, Gonzaga versus Crocop 2. Was that the time where he knocked him the hell out? Let's have a look. TKO, elbows and punches. Was that the time where he head kicked? No, Mirko got him back. That was the rematch from him getting Crocop. He Crocoped Crocop. Do you remember that? That was epic. That's a fight night. UFC on Fox is still a fight night, technically. Machida versus Rockhold. Miocic versus Hunt, fight night. Edgar versus Faber. That was a legend versus legend matchup. That was a sick fight that I wanted to see forever. Like I wanted to see Aldo go up and fight Pettis back in the day. It was one of those kind of things. Man, let's have a little look. Condit versus Alves. Man. Mir versus Duffy. That was my favourite Frank Mir moment ever. That knockout of Todd Duffy, my word. That was one of the most ruthless straight rights you've ever seen in your life. I'm pretty sure it was a straight right. It was beautiful. And that's enough of that. All I'm trying to say is, UFC is not what it used to be. It just isn't. I mean, even if Charles Energy Johnson versus that Tamarov was the co-main event, it wouldn't be so bad. So realistically, I don't know why UFC have put this as the co-main event. I honestly do not know why. I don't know what they're doing. They are ripping out the heart and soul of this once great company that the Fertitas built. And I just wanted to rant about it. I don't know what is happening with UFC. I think they're putting on too many cards. I think they genuinely need to. I'd rather fight nights like this not exist. I'd rather they just stack the cards more and have half the amounts of shows, because it's hard to keep up with it all. I won't miss them. I will not miss it. I will watch this card. Am I hell staying up late in the night till 4 in the morning to watch this bullshit? Fuck no. I'll catch up on it tomorrow. But I mean, so no, I'll have to stay off. I don't mind staying off the internet so I don't get the results on my feeds and stuff. But I mean, fight nights like this. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The UFC has had its soul ripped out by this new company. They're just all about the money. They don't care about building stars. Some of the divisions, the light heavyweight division, the heavyweight division, are absolutely dead. And they talk about the middleweight division. The middleweight division, shit. I remember when it was Vanderlei, Vitor, Machida, Silva, Bisping, all these amazing fighters that we used to love to watch. The middleweight division, shit now. It's shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. That's all I got, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Someone leave me a comment, or whether it's good or bad. Let me know what you think. But man, I think UFC is just, they can't keep on with this. They cannot keep on with this. I am literally, I want to punch whoever made this fight card in the fucking face. It is shit. It is absolutely shit. I hope the electric goes out in the building and they have to fucking cancel it. That's how much I give a shit about this fucking fight night. It's an absolute piss poor fight night. And I mean, I'll say the main event is good. I'm excited for the main event. It's going to be exciting. I like Manel Kape. He's fun to watch. But I mean, like, that should be a co-main event on a fight night, in my opinion. It's just, yeah, this card sucks. That's all I got. That's all I fucking got.